Margaret. Welcome to my channel, or if you're a subscriber, welcome back. Let's review my garden this season. I've got 10 things. The good things that have worked out well, I have 7 of those, and I have 3 disappointments. And at the end of the video, I will share a good surprise and a bad surprise from the 2025 growing season. And hopefully you'll do the same in the comment section below. I want to preface this list by saying how horrible the weather has been this year. It's been very hot. It's been very humid, and we've gotten little to no rain for 2.5 months in the summer. It's horrible. So that might have contributed to some of the disappointments. Now the good. Poppies. My grandmother, growing up, my grandmother and grandfather on my father's side lived with us in an apartment attached to the house. And she grew poppies. She had a green thumb. Poppies did so well for her, and it was just the old red variety poppy, and they came back year after year for her, but I have never had any luck. In the past, I've gotten poppy seeds, and I've scattered them about, and I've also purchased poppy plants. Neither did one thing. Horrible. Until last year, I looked on YouTube and there was a gardener that showed me how to sow poppies and that they needed cold. So in December last year, I marked out the space. I raked over the soil and just scattered a couple of poppy seed packets. And they were beautiful. What an assortment. I had California poppies. I had these big blousy pink poppies and magenta poppies. I'll put a few pictures up behind me. So poppies definitely. And I gathered the seeds from them. So I have lots and lots of those little seed packets of my own poppies to sow this winter. But poppies, unfortunately, don't stay around very long. They bloom and they're gone. But the seed heads are beautiful and they hold your interest too. Beautiful seed heads. So poppies, great stuff. Dill. Now, in the past, I've grown dill because I eat a little bit of it. I use it in cooking. But this year, I planted dill seeds in 4 big containers, and I got some eastern black swallowtail butterflies that laid their eggs on it twice in the same dill container. And the first one had 7 caterpillars, great big fat ones, and then all of a sudden they were gone. And somebody told me that's what they do. They eat and eat and eat and eat, and then they're gone to go off and cocoon themselves and grow into butterflies. So, and I'll put some pictures up behind me too. So dill is definitely on my list for next year. Coneflowers. I've grown purple coneflowers since I had a garden here. They do so well in my Indiana zone 6AB growing zone. They flower and then they set seed, and I don't cut all of the stems down. I leave some over winter because I'd love to see the goldfinches perch themselves on top of a seed head and just eat to the heart's content. So coneflowers, a good one. Next, black-eyed Susans. In the past, they've grown for me, not too well, but they have grown for me, and they flower, and then they get awful mildew. Now, I don't know if the weather did a good turn for the black-eyed Susans, but I haven't had any mildew on them, and they've just bloomed their little hearts out. So that's a good one. Lavender, one of my favorite herbs, flowers, plants, scents. I have maybe 5 stands of lavender around in the front yard and the backyard. And I wouldn't advise growing them from seed, but every big box store has lavender plants and they're so easy once established. Now, when you dig a hole, they like very good drainage. So I always put peat gravel or pea gravel in the hole and mix it up, and or some grit, something that holds some moisture and but lets it flow through. So that's one thing I would advise if you want to plant lavender for next year. Good soil and then good drainage, and then after you water it for the first month or so, you really don't have to babysit it. I've given it a feed in June of a very weak seaweed fertilizer, and that's all. So that's a good one, lavender. I cut off the stems and gather them into small bouquets and let them dry and put them by the bedside table. They're just lovely. The next one, I've had such good luck with these zinnias. They're such an old-fashioned plant, but I bought a packet of seed called Thumbelina assorted zinnia, and I think every one of them germinated. I've got 3 big stands of zinnias, and the trick, and when I broadcast the seed, I don't thin them. I just say you're on your own. I'll water you in well, and I'll give you a weak fertilizer now and then, but you're on your own. And I think they all germinated. They all germinated. I have cream color, orange, red, yellow, and everything likes the zinnias. Bees, butterflies, hummingbirds, they all gather at the zinnia patch. And the trick is, excuse me, the trick is to deadhead them after they go to seed. Deadhead them, and that signals the plant into putting its energy into more flower production. So they just bloom and bloom and bloom. Very happy with the zinnias. And the last group, grasses. I got into native grasses a few years ago, and I love them. Everyone should have some grasses in their garden. I've got 2 great big miscanthus plants. With the plumes, they're over 15, 16 feet tall. Beautiful, beautiful. And there's another one called Carl Forester grass. That's a good one. And also prairie winds grass. Whatever grass you like, look on the tag, make sure it's native or good for your zone, and then just plant it, water it for a month or so, and that's it. Grasses don't need a lot of attention. Now, the disappointments. Have only 3. One is cosmos. I love cosmos. I've grown it every year. The cupcake variety, the fluted variety, seashells, plain old cosmos. Love them. But this year, they were a major disappointment. I'll grow them again, but I was not happy this year with my beautiful cosmos. The next one, nasturtiums. I've grown nasturtiums a lot because I like to pick the flowers and the leaves and use them in salads, but I don't think I'll grow them next year. They didn't do very well. I bought two packets. I think out of those two packets, I got two nasturtium flowers. So they're not worth the effort. So I probably won't buy the seeds again and grow them next year. The third one is kind of surprising. Purchased sunflower packets. I love sunflowers. I've had good success in the past with a variety called Italian sunflower, but I didn't get that this year. I got Mammoth, and I can't remember the other one, but it's a deep maroon, like burgundy shade. Didn't do anything. The Mammoths, bad seed germination. I had better luck with growing sunflowers with just scattering the black oil sunflower seeds that I buy in bulk and feed to the birds. They germinate and they flower. So I'll stick with them next year. I'll just scatter some of the black oil sunflower seeds instead of buying these expensive packets. Now, I told you I had one good surprise and one bad surprise. The good surprise was toothpick weed. You probably never have heard of toothpick weed. It's a wildflower. It looks like Queen Anne's lace or the wild carrot. It's an umbellifer, and it starts out as a cream color, and then it turns the most beautiful maroon color, and the flowers last weeks and weeks. And when they start to set seed, it turns itself into an upside down umbrella. I'll show you some pictures. Beautiful plant. And I got those in a seed packet of wildflowers. So I'm collecting seed, and I think they're an annual. So that's why I collected seed, and I will plant them again next year because I love them. The bad surprise. Can you guess? Nobody likes it. Nobody wants it in their garden. No, I'm not talking about bindweed. I'm talking about poison ivy. It was bad this year in the backyard, in the back garden, the wild part of the garden. Awful. And I got the rash twice, once in June, and now it's now clearing up on my forearm. I tried to kill it with just spraying vinegar on it, and that really doesn't do anything. So if you know of a surefire way to rid your flower bed of poison ivy without it being Roundup, I don't want to use that stuff, please comment, tell me what it is. But I get on those long rose like pruning gloves that go all the way up to your elbow, and I have my clippers, and I pull the plant up and I dispose of it properly, but somehow it gets onto my skin, and even after washing the way I'm supposed to, some of it's stuck. So that's a horrible thing to have in your garden, poison ivy. So that's it, the good, the bad, and the ugly for my garden season 2025. Hope you enjoyed it, and I hope you're planning for your garden for next spring. I am. I'm going to take a little time off though. Thank you, and if you haven't already, please subscribe to my channel. Bye-bye.